the future. Let's make progress by talking about the One Kenya Alliance. Why Kalonzo won't be Raila running mate? That's the front page of the Standard. On the front page of the Daily Nation, the unlikely kingmaker, Honorable Mbui, says that he's actually the unlikely kingmaker. He will be the king. But the One Kenya Alliance leaders have also been on the campaign trail. And yesterday they were in Kiambu County, Thika, later in Githurai. Let's listen to what they were saying in as far as what is becoming a tag that there is actually a government project, that, as Aden Duale says, but also some claims that there could be some pressure for them to support another candidate. Listen.
Na kusema ni lazima awe hule ama ule. Nilisema hayo nikiwa Kakamega, na mimi narudia hapa na nitarudia kila pahali. The leadership comes from the people and the people must decide.
Mambo ya watu kukua projects. Ati serikali inataka kutuchagulia kiongozi wetu. Tumesema tumekataa. Tunataka mwananchi mwenyewe achague viongozi. Ukweli ama uongo?
Wewe ndio utaamua ni nani atakuwa kiongozi wako. Na mimi nataka niambie watu wa Githurai, nyinyi ndio mnatetemesha Kenya hii. Hapa Githurai imekuwa hotbed ya siasa ya Kenya.
Ile vijana wana kazi, tutafanya kazi kwa 3 shifts kutoka saa 2 mpaka saa 10. Wengine watoka hapa mpaka midnight. Wengine wafanye kutoka midnight mpaka asubuhi. Hivi tutabuni nafasi nyingi za kazi na tutahakikisha kwamba watoto wanapata kazi.
Kupunguza shida ya ajira, kupunguza ushuru na kuleta mali mashinani kwa wananchi.
Kura ni msila yako. Unasikia? Ukiingia huko booth, hiyo ni siri yako ambayo unajua hii kura yangu itabadilisha maisha yangu.
All right, so many things said there, including what Musalia Mudavadi is saying that Githurai ndio inayote tema. I don't know what he was thinking about. But Robert Mbui, I know you want to respond. Let's just start from this side. Honorable Mbui, I mean, we understand there was a meeting of the One Kenya principles with the president. Was it on Saturday or Friday? You can confirm to us. Would you know what the details of that meeting were?
Some no. I don't know.
Is it true there was a meeting?
Some, again, I will say I do not know about the meeting. I was with my party leader up to Friday. Because we were together in Kakamega, and he didn't even mention that there would be a meeting. So if there was any, it's probably at their level, but personally, I'm not aware of. As I've told you, these issues of intimidation, I don't know, blackmail, I'm reading them in the papers. In fact, the person who have had implied a lot is a leader for ANC, who is also one of our core principles, His Excellency Musalia Mudavadi. He's the one who's mentioned. So I think on the basis of that, there may be some conversation is had with people from certain quarters probably in the system. But my party leader has not mentioned any.
Honorable Mbui, you're the organizing secretary of Wiper Party, right?
Yes.
How come such things would happen and you have no idea?
Yeah, because probably my party leader was not approached in the manner in which is being implied.
Was there a meeting?
You know, let me put it this way. If there was a meeting, my party leader goes for many meetings. There are those that are party related. Those ones I'll be aware of and even organize for them. But when he's going to visit his friend in State House, that would not be part of my business. So I don't know. I don't know whether there was a meeting. And I am certain that if they do have a meeting in State House, the presidential press unit always releases a statement that they've had a meeting and discussed this or that. So I would wait to hear that. But maybe next time I'll have talked to him, I'll tell you.
That's a very interesting response that you give here. But of course,
I said I will always speak the truth.
You said politicians are liars.
Yes, I'm not one of those.
You're a politician. All right. So, Honorable Kosgei, so when you hear this tag of project, takes us back to 2002 when Uhuru Kenyatta was fronted by the late President Daniel Moi. It became a state project, really flopped at the election, just getting 31%, which was half of what Kibaki got. Where is this coming from? right now?
Yes, okay, let me say this, that you see, this is now the third transition that we're going to have in Kenya from one democratic administration, hopefully, to another. And Uhuru should know that he has a responsibility to ensure a fair process, because in 2002, there was an issue of a project tag, but at the end of the day, thankfully, the then retired president allowed what was a democratic election to take place and a peaceful transition to take place and a peaceful handover of power. 2013, Kibaki, I think there were some quarters that he had different ideas, but at the end of the day, he allowed a fairly peaceful election to take place and a peaceful handover of power take place. Now that we approach now the third such situation, we hope that Uhuru will at least be able to be fair, rise above any kind of partisan interest that he might have, and allow a free and fair process to take place. Because that is the key thing, so that we can, Kenyans are willing to engage robustly in any process, but what they would like is fairness. And from the Deputy President's side, I think there is nobody who is asking for any favors. What they are just asking for, and I think the consistent message that is there from the Deputy President, from the UDA, is to say, let us just have a fair process. That's why we even sometimes complain about the involvement of people like Matiang'i or Joe Musheru, who are the ICT secretaries. It is wrong for cabinet secretaries who have responsibilities that touch on security, touch on other issues, to be somehow seen to be partisan, to be somehow seen to be talking.
Let me ask you, Honorable Kosgei.
Now, yes.
Just hold on. The cabinet secretary in the name of Fred Matiang'i and ICT cabinet secretary Joe Musheru, what would you want them to do, especially for the interior CS?
Actually,
knowing that
no, the law does actually say that they should not be involved in politics. They are actually supposed to be professionals who are not politicians.
No, I'm talking about in preparation for an election. What do you want them to do?
They should not be seen to be partisan. That is the key thing. They should not say...
You're not getting my question. I'm not asking what they are not supposed to do. I'm asking what should they do?
Okay, what they should do, first of all, is to give confidence that they will ensure that there will be security on every side, there shall not be any kind of favoritism on either side. The ICT cabinet secretary should ensure and give confidence that he's not going to favor any side, make it very clear that everybody will have a free and fair opportunity to engage. And those are the kind of assurances we would like to see, so that when we are engaging in the process, we are sure that the referees are going to be honest and free and fair.
In that meeting of the two CSs...
Now, you see, the meeting that you mentioned,
the President of the Supreme Court, who is the Chief Justice, was there any insinuation that what you just said they should do, they were deviating from that?
You know, Sam, let's be fair. We have seen Matiang'i and we have seen Joe Musheru and the rest on record talking politics, and the policies that they talk about are clearly against the Deputy President. And that is what we are saying, that if we are going to have people who are supposed to be professionals under the law engaging in politics, that in itself is a problem. That's the only thing that we're saying. But we are not trying to... The key thing is that we just want a free and fair process. We are not asking for favoritism. I do not think the Deputy President wants anybody to favor them, doesn't want anything different. What they simply want is something to be free and fair. Okay. And the ultimate person who should be free and fair in this process is the President. Because what you mentioned about the President having a meeting with Kalonzo, I mean, my colleague over here, Honorable Mbui, is not being honest when he says that he's not aware of such a meeting. Everybody knows that there was such a meeting. And that is one of the key things, that we should not allow the process to be undermined by somebody coming to weigh in either which way or the other. The ultimate people who should decide an election and democratic situation are the people, and that's what we hope should happen next year. And in this third transition that we are having from 2002, 2013 to now that we're 2020-22, we hope that we will have the same kind of freeness, fairness as we transition.
Okay, all right. Again, let's listen to some members of parliament who spoke in Mombasa. They were making a pitch for Raila Odinga, who is away. I don't know whether he's returned to the country. Listen.
Kwamba sisi watu wa mlima tumetizama, tumeangalia, na yule ambaye tumeona kwa mapenzi ya Mwenyezi Mungu mwezi wa 8 tarehe 9 mwaka ujao atakayechaguliwa kuwa rais wa Jamhuri ya Kenya si mwingine bali ni baba Raila Amolo Odinga.
Hatutaki tena huku Coast mmesimama na baba miaka hii yote. Sasa imefika wakati baba anataka kuingia mpate matunda yenu, mtu anakuja kuwakoroga na mna hivi eti msikule na yeye matunda.
hapa Coast, we have to be very honest with you. Ninyi hamchukui kura, na mkichukua hamweki kura, because the voter percentage ya wale watu wanapiga kura hapa is about 50 going to 60%. Sisi kwa mlima inakuwa 100 kwa 100. And that is the reason we get the position that we want. Wakati huu tunawapatia challenge, hiyo changamoto.
All right, of course, they are, like I said, campaigning for Raila Odinga. And I'm looking at the Standard. Honorable Mbui says he's not aware that Kalonzo Musyoka went to State House for a meeting, but the Standard is reporting that on Saturday, the President summoned Mudavadi, Wetangula and Kalonzo in yet another bid to prevail upon them to drop their presidential ambitions in favor of Raila. And it was the third time Uhuru was meeting the Oka principals to have them forge a united front to face off with Ruto. The Standard has established that Kalonzo's side has since softened its earlier position of not playing second fiddle to Raila Odinga. And there's a quote of Mutula Kilonzo here, the Senator Mutula Kilonzo Jr., the Senator of Makueni. It's not a question of softening their position. The fact is they are caught between a rock and a hard place. The only problem in the discussion is that the position of Kalonzo in that proposed arrangement is not settled. But Honorable Mbui says he's not aware of that. But Honorable Okello, I almost said Honorable Nyando. Honorable Okello from Nyando. Are you sure? So all this is going on. I mean, what is the position of your party? Because you've been forging a coalition with the Jubilee Party, the party that he belongs to date. Unless you've shifted in terms of registration. But
I'm resigning on 9th.
9th of
February.
9th of February, that's when you resign.
Yes, but my mind, my heart and my soul is in UNDA.
Okay.
Yes.
So you're forming a coalition with the Jubilee Party, and there's this talk about the One Kenya Alliance. Parties, Musalia Mudavadi says, don't intimidate us, we'll do it our way. What's the reality and where are you in these conversations? Actually, there's a photo on page 4 of the Daily of the Standard. We'll be putting it up there of the meeting that was. Carry on.
Well, thank you very much. It is true that after the handshake, which was meant to bring about peace and tranquility within this country, there must have been talks around 2022 elections. There must have been. I mean, this is a protagonist whom you went into an election with, a very divisive election at the end of the day, and you accept to reach across the aisle to accommodate each other. What could have been discussed beyond the seat that I wanted? So it would be foolhardy for one to believe that Raila met Uhuru Kenyatta and there was no discussion at all around 2022. It begins there. But all that we are seeing going around is like the shoe on a different foot. If somebody else was to be endorsed by the president, obviously you'd be very happy. We have seen advances by the deputy president using the Catholic Church to talk to the president so that they can be reconciled. Why would he be interested?
Wasn't that a suggestion of the church to reconcile the two? How do you see it's the deputy president using the church?
From what was reported here, because I only get more information from the media, and this is a very credible media house, it was deputy president asking the Catholic, because he knows President Uhuru is a Catholic, so that they could be reconciled, and that reconciliation would give birth to an endorsement of Ruto to become president. Because many times, more than number, they have been talking about what Uhuru said in 2013, 2014, yangu kumi, yaku kumi. Why would they be bringing all these analogies or all this history if they are not interested in the seat anyway? So my brother, Honorable Lunturi, just talked about Mademoni issue and how they implored upon President Uhuru Kenyatta to register as a voter and to run to become president. The original idea was to have Mudavadi endorsed. So they understand the importance of endorsement here. Whereas when the shoe is on a different foot, they would be, you know, would be ping pong, playing ping pong games that, you know, bring that project. Yet they know the importance of becoming a project.
But Honorable Okello, what if One Kenya Alliance decide to go to the election by themselves? Then Deputy President by himself and ODM leader and his coalition by themselves. What are your chances of clinching power?
Obviously, every person including us here, the four of us, have a right to run for presidency. And it is usually an individual's choice. It is not a choice dictated by the outside environment. You choose to go to run. And Oka principals may choose to all go to run as different outfits. Or they may craft a formula upon which just one of them would be propelled to carry the mantle. So that is a choice that they are going to make. Well, what we believe on this side of the aisle is that we have consistently won the last 3 elections. That is what we believe. Ruto is making his first stab at presidency, so you cannot even rate him on anything. I mean, this is somebody who has always been supporting other candidates. So this is the first time he's throwing himself into the ring. So you cannot gauge, his superiority or his powers around the electorate. You can comfortably talk about Kalonzo Musyoka because he has been a candidate. He garnered, a substantial amount of votes, and that is what informs this headline here, the unlikely kingmaker. Because he has moved to a situation where he has galvanized the eastern side of his coalition divide and is very sure of coming with members of parliament aligned to his political outfit. The same is not for Mudavadi, and the same is not for Wetangula, because Western Kenya tends to be more stratified than anywhere else. So you have ODM, you have Jubilee, you have ANC, you have Ford Kenya, you have all these political outfits.
So for you, Kalonzo Musyoka and Wiper are more attractive to form an alliance with than the other partners in
you need
One Kenya
everybody.
Alliance?
You definitely need
I asked you a
everybody.
question. What if each of these formations runs for the presidency? What are your chances, ODM, clinching power?
And that is exactly what I said. We have had a tradition of winning. And if they so choose to go as Oka, as a separate outfit, we know our numbers. We are still going to win, and not just win, but win very big. And as I said, Ruto may be number 2 if we are subjected to an election where Oka is also participating, based on numbers. And I'm very charitable to Ruto, even though he has never been a candidate, but I'm trying to be very charitable because he has managed to make inroads in Rift Valley. I don't know about votes beyond Rift Valley, because we saw how Jubilee got votes in the Rift Valley, courtesy of William Ruto. I don't know about Central. I mean, Central is still up for grabs.
Okay.
But he's going to be number 2. Oka's candidate will be number 3. Baba will win, and it will be first round win.
Well, that's your analogy. Just wanted to correct something you said, that the deputy president approached the church, unless they did it behind the scenes. But the Catholic Church on September 15th issued a press statement and said, we are ready to reconcile the 2 leaders. The following day, Deputy President wrote back and said he's ready and he holds nothing against the president.
Well, he talked about
so I don't think it's
he talked about statecraft and what happens behind the scenes, which I'm privy to, and no one else.
Tell us about it.
Well, he approached the Catholic Church to help him reconcile with his brother, President Uhuru Kenyatta.
And then the church came out and gave a statement.
Yes, they came and gave a statement. To date, nothing has been.
When did he approach the Catholic Church?
Just before the statement.
No, we know the statement was on September 15th. When did he approach them?
So it must have been 13th, 14th. And this is a matter of fact.
How do we prove that? Because you're on Citizen TV. How do we prove that?
Firstly, the Catholic Church would basically have absolutely no problem with the current arrangement, where Uhuru Kenyatta is working closely with Raila Odinga to bring about peace and Azimio la Umoja. They'll have absolutely no problem with that.
Are you a Catholic?
And the church, and both the president and Raila Odinga have made it quite clear that their association is about bringing about peace. And as a matter of fact,
you're not giving me an answer.
No, we haven't seen any problem ever since the handshake.
You're not giving me an answer. So, just hold on. Senator Linturi, because we are practically out of time, please give me your response, especially
But let me finish by saying this.
Just hold on.
The advances were made by the deputy president.
You already said that, but you're not giving the supporting details.
I'm emphasizing.
With no details. So that's your view, not of Citizen TV. Senator Linturi, so we'll look at One Kenya Alliance, the conversations that are said to have been happening between the president and the team. There's the tug of project. So come 2022, what is your estimation of who will be on the ballot for the presidency, and what are the chances of your side clinching power?
One automatic person that must be on the ballot is William Ruto. That I can tell you for free. Secondly, and I want to say on this station, you cannot predict Kalonzo because he's not known to stand family on anything. That's why we call him watermelon. You can't predict.
How can you say that?
You have to withdraw that.
You can't. Because of change of
I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's fair to say that on Citizen TV. You're quoting
okay, for purposes of this show, then let me withdraw it. Because you should, Sam, I have interacted long enough with all these people. I was in the same parliament with Kalonzo Musyoka. I was in the same parliament with Raila Odinga, with Mudavadi, with Uhuru Kenyatta, with President Kibaki. So what I'm telling you is informed by our history and the leadership of the country.
You've already withdrawn it, so let's carry on. Don't explain it.
So, the other one, who I also cannot be able to really tell with certainty, but I imagine he will not let it, is his brother and my good friend, Raila Odinga, because he is my friend. So for William Ruto, Raila Odinga, I'm sure I will be there. And just if you heard Mudavadi talking about intimidation and coercion to supporting a candidate, I know Mudavadi is also a gentleman. He could be telling the truth. Mbowe is trying to run away from it, but I can tell you, out of all those three candidates, the best person that I wouldn't mind personally working with, right, because of his nature, being forthright, is Kalonzo Musyoka, and Kalonzo Musyoka is also a constituency of the Kambas. So his 2 million votes are so important. So Mbowe, and we come from the same region.
Is it true when the Daily Nation says that Kalonzo Musyoka is being quoted by Deputy President William Ruto?
You see, just like Mbowe.
What is the short answer, yes or no?
I don't know, I don't speak for William Ruto. Right? I don't speak for William Ruto, but I'm telling you that I wouldn't mind working with Kalonzo. I can also tell you, let me tell you, you know why? Because we have a relationship with Kalonzo. One time, in those early years before he ran for president and later went to join Kibaki so that we can get the position of vice president, I went with him in Egypt with his family and I, and Mwadi, Husky Mwadi and Isaac Ruto. At that time, we were very close friends, and he knew we were friendly to William Ruto and...
we're talking about matters of the nation.
No, I'm telling you how we could even discuss on how to form or how to organize government in 2013. Yes. So, Kalonzo Musyoka, I know when he says, I am persuaded and there is something for the campus, you won't go by it, because at least he consults. Are there
any plans or talks between UDA and YP at this point in time?
It wouldn't be premature to discuss that one right now.
Is it
But let me tell you, Kalonzo Musyoka as a constituency. That's what I want to tell you.
All right, let's look at what Kenyans have been saying. Odongo Rolex is saying that we know that the president is directly pointing fingers to his deputy, William Ruto. He should now stop going around and tell Ruto on his face that he is the thief in the government. Well, okay. Geoff Muita, let's hold both Uhuru and Ruto responsible for the failure of their government. Since Kenyans are dissatisfied by their performance, then they should go home together with the MPs and senators and governors, of which 70% will go home. Omwanto Vikri, the One Kenya Alliance principles must support Raila's presidency because Ruto's win is an automatic political obituary against the four. Honorable Kosgei, does it mean that Jubilee government was so weak that Honorable Raila will just come in and destroy it? Or is the group on that other side crying foul, yet the president did not mention names? Do they know something we don't? Talam Ronald, why is Kibaki's legacy not attached to either Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka or Mudi Awori? Cool question. Jacob Abere, major factors for registration of voter apathy and projection on 2022 election are leaders don't inspire at all because they sell tribalism, the nationalism, crooks, corrupt, did I just say crooks, corrupt, liars, nepotic, okay, hate speech, hate mongers, and lastly, zero promise deliverers example, the free laptops and stadia. Eugene Omondi, we are not satisfied with the way IEBC promises on election transparency. The last election was a mess, so don't blame anyone for low voter registration turnout. And those are your views via Twitter, Citizen TV Kenya. The conversation continues. The hashtag to use is daybreak. Thank you so much, Honorable Jared Okello from Nyando.
Well, I hope you saw the letter that the Deputy President dispatched to the Catholic Church.
You're quoting, yes, you're quoting a story by The Star.
Correct.
It was published on the 16th.
Correct.
And they are saying that the Deputy President wrote back on 16th, a day after the Catholic Church gave the statement.
Yes. And he said, I supported him unconditional and respect his mandate as
Honorable Okello, the Catholic Church spoke on 15th. Deputy President wrote on 16th. What came first? 15th.
This is a follow-up letter. This is what is being reported here. Anyhow.
All right, Senator Thika Linturi, Honorable Robert Mbui, and Honorable Alex Kosgei, thank you all for making time for us. The conversation continues. Like I said, my name is Sam Gituku. Up next is Sporty Monday. Willis Raburu is here.